devs announced changes to the translation, but they are still relying on the same localization company.
Why? Why would they use the same company? Like, what's good, gang? Mugiro back here once again with another reaction video. This time taking a look at a Chibi Reviews video commenting about a game that English localizers unfortunately damaged with a botched translation. Without further ado, we're going to get right on into it.
They translated a simple word like yamaro, which means stop it in Japanese, into end fascism.
What? What the fuck? That is not the translation. What? What in the heck is going on with the localizers? You've got to be kidding me. I've been hearing talk and everything about, some of the ridiculous localization stuff that's been going on Twitter and whatnot, but I didn't realize that they were going this far off the rails with the localization and turning stuff into things that it has no correlation to whatsoever. How the heck does how do you get end fascism out of a word that's supposed to mean stop? That's way too much of an overreach there. Like, there's no reason for that. There's no call for that. It's... what the...
A Fate Stay Night and Fate Go reference, which means command spell directly, has been turned into I will never be victimized under fascism again. This by far might be the worst translation I think to ever exist. Like this.
Yeah, I'm gonna agree wholeheartedly. Like, what does this have to do with anything? Like, none of this so far is connecting to any of what the original Japanese text has to say. This is absolutely wild. Like, I've seen in the past some localizations and whatnot that were really kind of pushing the bar on changing the original intent of what was being said in Japanese, but this is going way, way too far to an extreme of like, no, at this point, you're just trying to add things in here that don't make any sense whatsoever to the original Japanese and what it's supposed to say. This is... what are you localizers doing? Whatever it is, it's gotta stop. This is uncalled for.
This absolutely demolishes anything that we've seen recently from Crunchyroll, and I think that this actually goes above and beyond anything that the 4Kids era for dubbing anime has ever done as well. This is legitimately horrendous. Like, to put this in perspective, you realize how bad of a translation it has to be.
This is terrible.
Official Japanese account working on this game has to call out the bad English translation, where the actual official account has to make a actual public statement on their Steam page talking about the very bad English translation text.
I mean, obviously it sucks that, they have to do this and whatnot, but it's rightfully deserved to have to make this kind of public statement and fix what's going on here, because this is unacceptable. Like, these translations have no place in here, and man, what the heck is going on with modern gaming now? Like, is this what it's going to be moving forward? Is just constantly having identity politics and just politics in general forced and shoved into games? If so, like, this is why modern gaming is on the decline and collapsing, and why so many people, myself included, just want to play older games at this point. and are just not interested in new stuff. Because if this is the new stuff that they're trying to put on offer, no, I want no part of it. Get it out of here.
For this game, how horrible it is, how they're aware that many players, especially those enjoying the game primarily in English, have raised concerns about the quality of the localization. These comments have been shared through Steam reviews and the community hub, as well as others on X, YouTube trailer comments, Discord, and other platforms. While it is difficult to review every single message in detail, I am
Good. They
reading
should
as
be
many
making as
comments
big a
as
stink
possible.
about it as possible.
Basically, Japan is no longer like out of the loop where they're unaware of what is happening to translations of their products, thanks to like basically the overwhelming amount of people, especially on social media on X, that can now communicate with the Japanese, and Japanese can communicate with the West.
Oh yeah,
And
that's right. That
recently, because
whole
of the
thing they
algorithm
did
shifts,
on
I
X to
think
be
this
able
led
to
to where this is
auto
a problem that
translate.
can no longer be ignored. This is a problem to where like the Japanese can see it continuously, and I feel like just this entire situation on where they had to straight up address how bad the translation was is legitimately ridiculous. Like, I really
Oh,
want you to take a
100% it
look here.
is.
Like, they are putting in some crazy things and destroying certain translations because the translator is 25 years old or younger. Like, this is literally what is said in a review on the
What?
Steam page. They killed references to Rants, Haruhi, Digimon 03, and more just because the translator is 25 years old and never watched any anime, and some other famous examples, which is
Huh? What? I'm gonna have to look more into that, but you've got to be kidding me. Just because they're younger and don't understand any of these references and whatnot, they decided to just go ahead and get rid of and change all of that stuff. I don't even know what to think or say anymore on this. This is just, this whole localization has been botched from top to bottom. And I really, really hope that they just go ahead and get somebody new to do this. Because whoever they got to do this localization, they can't be trusted. I really, really do hope that they do not get the same people to try to redo this.
is, you know, what I already covered. But let's get into the reviews on the actual page. So if we get into the actual reviews on the page, like, this is the top stuff, like you can see right here. Like, I followed Nanahira for over 15 years, and I'm a day one player of Needy Streamer Overdose. Now, both the devs and the Nanahira come together to release a homage to the Denpa genre. While I would absolutely recommend this game, it is currently unplayable in the English localization because it is horrible. The English translation is an insult to both the devs and the players of this game. It's so bad it almost feels like a sabotage.
That's what it feels like. It definitely feels like a sabotage of some
because
sort.
you'll miss all of the nuances, references, and jokes it makes by playing it in English. It already is difficult to translate a game with lots of otaku culture references, and even some that don't make much sense because it's Denpa. Any other language...
Honestly, I'm just gonna say, I don't think that it should be that hard or difficult to be able to translate otaku culture references and just, reference things in general. Like, I do get that languages aren't the easiest thing in the world to understand, but if you know what you're doing and you understand languages, how hard is it really to try to get as direct of a translation as possible from one language to another? Is it really that complicated and that difficult? Because I don't feel like it should be.
does an okay job at this, but you'll definitely miss all of it by playing it in English. I seriously hope the devs patch the English localization because it's so bad I almost wanted to close the game within an hour of reading. I'm sure players will/can collectively come together with a patch and will not have, while not having an official response to this, it will feel like an insult to the game. I played the demo to 100% and didn't have any issues with the translation, unlike this version. And then here's the edit. The devs announced changes to the translation, but they are still relying on the same localization company.
Why? Why would they use the same company? Like, the chance of them actually fixing and getting the stuff right is going to be very, very low. I really hope that I'm wrong on that, but unless they are on a time crunch, there is absolutely no reason to go back to the same poisoned well to try to redo the localization when you already know that they've botched it, unless they have somebody that's going to be overseeing them like a hawk in order to make sure that they do the job right. Like, I don't get this, man. This is nuts.
So this is kind of scary. They're still working with the same company that botched this, but they have announced that they are going to be doing extra work. And then if you keep scrolling down, you'll see this. Extremely disappointed with the localization. This was my most anticipated game of the year. I mean, you have this one as well, like, you know, fix the god-awful translation. I mean, you can see more people calling out the translations and how bad it is. I think the point kind of speaks for
Good.
itself.
Get as many voices doing it as possible.
Legitimately are calling
This is
out
nuts.
how bad the game was translated, which led eventually to this official statement from their account. So yeah, this is absolutely wild. Like, I can't believe like that this is something that happened as well. Like, look at this. Can you translate "don't need it" in Japanese? And localizers did "I would cut my uterus out if I could."
What? What the... That is another example of a tremendous reach from what one sentence is conveying to the translation that you have here. That is 100% a forced thing where by no normal circumstances would you take the translation of "don't need it" to whatever they ended up with here. They should not be going back to these people. They should be kicking them to the curb and getting rid of them. And no one should be doing business with these localizers at all anymore. Like, I can't. This leaves me so frustrated and infuriated because it felt like for a while we were starting to see an increase and getting good quality English translations and English dubs for things. And within the last, I don't know how many years, localizers have started to pull this kind of stuff. And it's ruining everything that was being built up. And I think at some point, the Japanese are going to, rightfully so, just put localizers in their place and put them out of a job and start doing things in-house themselves. Which I can't really blame them at this point for doing something like that. But it sucks because there's probably a lot of people out there that would love the opportunity to have the job of a localizer that would do honest translations, and they're getting glossed over for people like this.
That's not even the same word. That's not even...
Yeah, that's exactly my sentiment, Chibi.
Like, what the hell is this? Like, I'll leave it at that. Looking at this is actually making me kind of angry. So, you all have a fantastic day.
Yeah, this is really making me heated, and I think I'm gonna need to go, like, take a lap or something after this. This is just too much. If you stayed until the end, thank you so much for watching, and if you enjoyed, please consider leaving a like, comment, or even subscribing to the channel. Until next time, stay scrappy, friends.